Welcome back, everybody who wasn't watching. But we just wanted to record this video. This is actually our first dev night. We do plan on streaming these nights live in the near future, so that way you can keep up with us as we're developing the game. We wanted to do it tonight, but
We
we
got
just
technical
we just
difficulties.
had we had too many technical difficulties to set this up. Plus, we figured a video would be good to start off with, kind of put the announcement out there, really, um, that we are going to be doing this and that you will be able to follow us in our journey of developing our next game. So yes, Break Night Games is back at it again with a new game this time. I know we just recently launched Sorted back in February, Valentine's Day, actually. So if you haven't checked that out, please go and check it out at our Steam page. You can also visit our website, breaknightgames.com, where we have our nice, beautiful, updated website with our game, and soon to announce ZooKeepers, our very next game that we are working on starting tonight. So we want,
Woo! Yeah.
yeah, get excited, get excited. So
We
let's.
Woo!
So there's just a lot of we just been up to a lot. Like we're so excited with our release, and we're so excited about this next project that again we wanted to bring you on board early, and first and foremost, so you can journey with us through this um through the development of this game, and we are shooting for 6 to 8 months of development time. So no 4 year wait like we did for Sorted. We're looking to get this bad boy out soon. So let's talk about ZooKeepers. What is ZooKeepers? Well, uh, ZooKeepers is a co-op management chaos game. Basically, a friend slap. So we really enjoyed playing Friend Slap. I know I have a whole bunch in my Steam inventory. I'm talking about Repo, RV There Yet, Peak. Um, throw another name out there. We probably played it, probably have it. So we wanted to do our own, but we wanted to take Lethal Company. I knew I was forgetting one. But we definitely wanted to be different than the group. We didn't want it to be anything horror or scary. It's just been done. Um, and we wanted to be fresh. It was like peak being something brand new instead of something being scary and horrifying. It was just climbing up a mountain with your friends and finding hilarious ways to get there. RV There Yet, you know, driving a van through the wilderness and through canyons and through caves and just trying to make the get to point A to point Z in one piece
Avoiding the bear,
and avoiding avoiding the non-animated bear. Um,
slipping
hilarious.
across the floor.
I I think we laughed. So we got it. So first of all, just so you know, Hook and I played that game for about 8 hours straight. We played all night, and we got in trouble for laughing too loud. So
Yes, we did.
just just a heads
Was that
up.
a we or was that a hook?
Oh no,
That was a both.
that was a
It
both.
was both of us.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I got scolded. I got scolded pretty bad that night, and
yeah.
so
When we got off, I had to take the kids to school.
yeah. But I think getting in trouble only made it funnier because we
Oh
had to
yeah.
like silently laugh, which increased the humor of the game. But yeah, so
Just turned
just
around and she was standing there.
I did the same thing. I was like, "Oops."
He's just standing there, menacingly.
Exactly what it was. Oh shoot. Let's get back to it. Get back to it. Go.
So just to keep the spirit in the vein of those kind of games, that's what we wanted when we were thinking about Zookeepers. So let's get into what it actually is about. So you are building your beautiful zoo, and it's also your beautiful disaster. This is going to be an up to 4 player co op game, as you would imagine. And you're simply trying to manage a zoo. You are like actually trying to do your job, and just things are going chaotic. You're trying to feed animals, you're cleaning the enclosures, um, guiding the visitors, or really just keeping them safe, at, I guess, as best as you can, unless, you're feeling a little devious. We'll get into that later. Um, and the whole place is falling apart around you. Um, this is basically taking place over shifts. We'll get into that. Every shift is a new adventure. When you're feeding, you're cleaning, or taking care of the animals, They have their own behaviors, their needs, their temperaments. They're crazy. You're building your zoo. We wanted to give the player the choice to build their zoo. Um, it is gonna be a little bit linear, so it's not. Don't think of like this game as a zoo tycoon where you're meticulously placing things in specific grids. There'll just be more like uh areas of placement, right? Like, hey, you're allowed to place the exhibit here, with the choice of the animal that you're trying to, you know, the attraction that you're trying to place there, the animal. Um, you're the staff, so you're basically running around. The idea of this is a more of a third person perspective. So think battle golf or I know I'm getting that name wrong. But your typical behind the character action view, and so that way you could basically take in the sights, take in your funny, interesting looking character, and just kind of travel your way around your zoo, surviving the chaos. Chaos is the main staple of this game. I can't stress that more. Um, Anything can go wrong, and that's the point. But we want it to be fun. We want it to be humorous at every step of the way. The shift system. So essentially, your tasks and the things that you do happen over shifts. You're just you have it's basically your timer to get certain things done. You're having to get them done with well, multiple tasks at a time, and you're trying to beat the clock, and also trying to do the well, I guess it depends on you and your zoo, but you're trying to do the right thing. And of course, at the end of every shift, you're getting rated, you're getting paid, and you're using that to upgrade your zoo. All right. So what we definitely want you to play with your friends as much as possible. Mid-session drop-ins. Invite your friends at any point in the game, any point of the mission. Let them drop in and help you when you need it, if you need it, or try to go solo. And good luck with that. Um, we're definitely handling auto saves. So as you progress, or basically as you complete a task or you complete a shift, is when we want to ideally save your game. So don't think like I can just shut it off at any second and it'll save. We'll do it at certain intervals, but the ones that matter. Um, your zoo, your rules, right? You you control the direction. You basically control what when things start, when things end. It's not a hostile takeover if your friends join. There should be some goofy stuff that your friends can do to you, but it never really destroys your game. Um, and then just ensuring that there's roles for everyone. But when we say roles here, they're not hard set roles. These are like you guys come up with a plan, you figure out how you're going to execute it. Things will go wrong. These are just a couple of things that we're planning on going wrong: gorilla escapes, snakes on the loose, power outages. Possibly the worst viral moments could be visitor related. Um, Guests dirtying up the enclosures because they're getting sick near the penguin tank. Um, can't go wrong. Can't have an outside zoo without nature. Mother Nature is always around. And who was supposed to feed the lions? Maybe you tried, and that's why they're still not fed.
Maybe you fed one of your friends the line. Who
Maybe
knows?
you're
Maybe you
missing.
tried, and that's why they're fed now.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't ask what they ate.
And the giraffe ate something, and there's a bulge in its neck. Ah, so are you ready to open up your zoo? We start development today. Will be coming soon to Steam and to other platforms, so definitely follow us and keep an eye on us. Here's the links to our website. You can follow us on X, and definitely join our Discord community, which we will post. We'll post in the description of this video, so you'll have those links down there. All right. So with the side being out of the way, let's talk a little bit more about the game. Let's get into the pitch by Richie Eggman. All right.
Beautiful.
You actually put it in there. Damn.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
it's a must. It's a must. So just so you guys know, we use Miro for our planning. It like no one reads game design documents. I mean, and if you're writing them, I'm sorry. Um, it's just easier to get the plan out and get it in everybody's face. People will actually tend to will be more inclined to read cards with simpler words than full on pages. And then it's color coded. So who doesn't like color? So
I like colors.
we love our colors. So this is where we're kind of doing all of our stuff right now. And but today we're just going to talk about the pitch. So again, I explained to you what Zookeeper is. What are design pillars? Our design pillars are comedy for competence, humor trying to do legitimate work in inherently insane situations. So our design here was to like we were just joking about. You're trying to feed the lions, but you're doing it in the worst way. You're hand feeding them, or you're being hung down from a crane and you're swinging so you can drop the steak near the lion, but you're coming dangerously close to them getting you. Or
Hey,
maybe the
Richie.
yes.
Sorry, your mic is like cutting off some of the words. I don't know if you just want to
Oh,
roll back
how's
your
how's that better?
That
Yeah.
might be good
yeah.
for like the editing or
So
something
you want
like
to talk about the design pillars? All right, so we'll start over. From design pillars, we're talking about comedy from competence, humor from trying to do legitimate work in inherently insane situations. So, you're just trying to actually do a good job, but you're doing it in the worst way, like trying to hand feed lions, or you're swinging from a rope and trying to get near the lions to drop the steak off without being eaten yourself, or trying to feed orcas. Good luck. Um, Emergent chaos. That is the core of of the mechanics here. We want to use physics plus animal AI and co-op to create unscripted moments, right? This is what you see in your standard friend stop games. Weird things happen. Maybe friendly fire occurs. Maybe some weird, funky physics happen, and your character goes flying. There's that. The humor's in there, right? Um, Escalating stakes. Start with goats, end with orcas. Every shift raises the bar. What we mean by that is there's progression, and you're starting off with easier animals, and then again, as your zoo begins to tier up, you start getting into more and more difficult animals. And we want to cater to our content creators. So just trying to bring in that stream fuel, ensuring that like every moment that these guys are playing, there's a hilarious moment that we want to clip and share with our followers. Let's talk about the outer loop. So technically it starts at downtime. Downtime is like your sandbox mode where nothing's really going on and you can explore your zoo and kind of appreciate your layout and your animals and the visitors. And then until you want to start your shift, this is going to be a user choice, right? We don't want to force the players to have to start their shift. So they'll go to their clipboard or the bulletin board and they'll interact with it, and it's going to assign them random tasks. So whatever number that might be, that's still something that we will need to tune and to just kind of fine tune. 3, 5, depending on the time and the type of task that they are. You'll be assigned them randomly, and then you'll begin to execute those tasks. Um, we're deciding if that's going to be an overall timer or if that's going to be an individual timer for the tasks. Your shift ends, so timer runs out, or you've completed all your tasks. We'll end that, and then we'll tally your results. And depending on how well you've performed, or the minimal amount of damage that was occurred, will determine your rating, which will also determine your pay and or bonuses. The pay and bonuses go to spending to buying new tools, upgrading tools, new exhibits, or upgrading the zoo in general. And that's going to be the outer loop. So, you're the reward of playing and trying to complete these tasks is that you're going to have a bigger, better zoo with cooler tools. Now, in the inner loop, when you're trying to actually what a task looks like, I should say. For example, bathing the hippos. We're not telling you how to bathe the hippo. We're just telling you to go bathe the hippos. How you want to do that is completely up to you. We want traversal. So realistically, this is going to be a pretty large map. You're going to have to go between the exhibits. The animals themselves kind of need room in their own exhibits, as well as the areas that, for guests, stalls, and vendors. You will be traveling, but fear not. We'll be providing you with tools and vehicles. So you go plan your attack. You go find your tools, maybe at the uh, the warehouse or the tool shed, and you load up and you're traveling to the exhibit. Now you're attempting to bathe the hippo, but of course the hippo or miscoordination makes the hippo react in a very negative way, and all of a sudden the hippo breaks out of the exhibit. Now this chaos event is what we call like an immediate event. So bathing the hippos, that priority goes away, and the new priority is get the hippo back in the exhibit as it's thrashing your beautiful zoo and mauling your victims. I mean your visitors, or both. Um, Either way, if you succeed or fail, we want it to feel great. We want it to feel funny, hilarious. Like wow, we messed up, but I was having so much fun. It really didn't matter. Can't wait to do that again. So the goal is to make succeeding and failing both hilarious. Downtime. So downtime, I kind of briefly explained this. This is just you kind of wandering and exploring your zoo, and just bringing in that emotional investment hooks where you know this is your zoo. You built it. You're putting in the time to make it what it is, and maybe you want to do the worst job. Who knows? Or maybe you know you actually care and you want it to look beautiful. That's up to you. Um, this is a maybe. This is a stretch goal for us. So we have a 3v1. Players trying to capture the animal, which is the other player, and that player just going around the zoo just destroying things. We love that. Let's talk a little bit about the animals. Now, the animals themselves. All animals are going to share these behavior states: calm state, agitated, aggressive, and rampaging. Where they're just breaking out, they're breaking loose, or they're just going after players, and it's just going to be a real bad time. Um, Basically, based on the tier of these animals, some of these are going to go up and down these states faster than others, or some may go directly into one. Um, Depends on how we want that to happen. Um, so we'll go from tier 1 to tier 5. Now, I know we're talking about goats, rabbits, and penguins, and you see these are just example animals. We do have a roster of potential animals that we're looking to bring it into this zoo game, and some of them might make it, some of them might not, but definitely we were trying to aim for animals that you don't normally see, or there are some that obviously you see the tigers and the polar bears, but we wanted to bring some others like the shoebill and the sloth bear, and even down to the coconut crab, because we just wanted to find some menacing, dangerous creatures to bring the fun, and also just to bring something different. Like I said, you wouldn't expect at a zoo. They will also have some personality traits, so we just want an extra layer of complexity, and also just making the animals interesting, right? Because this is going to be the core, like one of the major cores of the game is interacting with the animals, and we don't want them to feel all samey. So there will be some traits and some quirks to them that are going to force them to operate a little bit differently than what you would expect. These are some of the tasks that we're starting off with at the moment. These could change, but these are kind of our go-to: feeding the animals, grooming, bringing them to the vet, maintenance on the enclosures, or just the animal areas in general, and making sure the animals are happy. Right, if they have to put on a show, so uh, that could just be like making sure they're fed. It could be a combination of these things, right? Get the animal happy enough because the show will start within X amount of time. And then we want to add some task modifiers to that mention about Mother Nature, making paths slippery or making it difficult to navigate. Timed inspections, So you got to get the task done before the inspector shows up. That's going to be great. The chain task. This was talking about bathing the animal, but then it escaped. That's the emergent task gameplay that we're hoping for. And I know this says mandatory co-op, but obviously, if you play by yourself, we'll still let you play by yourself. It's just going to be pretty difficult to get some of those done. And that's our task system. Physics. We talked about physics. Huge part of the game. That's what we think is going to bring the funny, shifting weights, wobbly when carrying, ladders, slipping on the floor and bouncing around due to soap. And even the vehicles, the weight balance when you're taking hard turns and, potential drifting and ragdolling. Just a short list of tools that we have listed here. We do have more. And then just talking about some of the environments that are interactive. So that's the one thing too. Like we're trying to build this game in such a way where it feels like there's a lot of interactions, but realistically, behind the scene, what we want to do is recycle them because we have to build smart. We're not a large team, so how do you build a large world? How do you build a large world with fewer interactions? You just make them feel and look a bit different. Um, so when we talk about like even going back to tasks, some of the things that we were thinking about is like, yeah, every animal has to be fed, but maybe we change the way that you feed them. So that way every feeding session isn't the same. Feels like a new unexplored task. So there's going to be a lot of recycling in interesting ways to make this game feel brand new each time. Let's see. Zoo economy and management. Pretty much self-explanatory. Like how do we build up, right? How do we increase the zoo and make it larger and make it feel new and interesting each time? Well, you got the income, the amount of visitors that are coming to the your zoo because you're getting higher ratings, daily bonuses for perfection, or hopefully no deaths. What will you be spending these things on? New exhibits, better tools, facilities, and of course cosmetics. Upgrade your character. Um, Here's the catch. Every upgrade makes your zoo bigger. Bigger zoo equals more tasks per shift, more animals. More can go wrong. Success in its own punishment. This is the one more shift engine. All right. And then as progression goes for the zoo, right now we were going by as far as a rating goes. So you start off at star 1, small exhibit. You're just starting the game. We want to keep this simple. But obviously, with each successful shift, your rating does go up. And we want to do milestones there. Now, this doesn't exactly have to happen at 2 stars. We don't have to stop at 5. We can increase that. But this is just an example of like a rating system that we're thinking of and what these ratings actually mean. What does it mean to level up? What happens when you level up? Are there special events like news stories, which causes more visitors to attracted to your zoo? So more eyes on you, right? More ways for things to go wrong. Um, Inspector at 3 stars. Making sure that now you have an inspector walking around the park and you got tasks to do, and hopefully he doesn't catch you getting eaten or something going wrong or one of the animals leaving the exhibits while they're on the watch. 4 stars, you get a documentary crew to film you, so they're watching your every move. Don't mess up, essentially. And then at 5 stars, celebrity and politician red carpet treatment. You got high profile people at your park. Everything is going wrong, and you're having to keep the calm. So that would make sense for like an end game, like keep the park under control and don't let them see it go wrong. Um, this is pretty self-explanatory. This is just kind of talking about like how do we scale when there's 2 players, 3 players, 4 players, and still keep it fun and still keep it shared. So here's the current list of tools that we're thinking about: hammers, catch poles, trank gun, buckets, pushing carts, brooms, squeegees, soap gun, shovels, This also squeegee same as before. Hosing sprays, trash bins, golf carts for traveling, cranes for some missions, and this is a duplicate. So sorry about that. But yeah, that's essentially that's the pitch of the game. The platforms that we want to target this time around is Steam. Well, naturally Steam, as the same as we release Sorted, the Epic Store, the Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. So that just means that we're just gonna have to do a little bit more work on the multiplayer end. Um, Last time we just used a Steam plugin, and which got us directly onto Steam, but this time we are entering the Epic Online Services environment, which is a gateway for us to make our Epic games on Switch, on PlayStation, and on Xbox, and of course the Epic Store, and still be able to land on Steam. So we're looking to hit all of them first time around instead of doing um, a single platform. But by the way, Steam Sorted is coming out on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch in the following months, so definitely keep an eye out for that. So, with that being said, you can see we kind of have our roadmap here. I'm not going to get into the details, and you can see that we are working those out and just kind of ironing out so we know what we're building every single week. And then we also have our level designer Dominique already doing some research and trying to best figure out like how do we have the perfect map for the zoo where it doesn't feel one-sided or it doesn't feel like a chore when you're traveling the map and looking at the zoo and dealing with things. We want every inch of that map to feel fun and exciting and useful. So that is what we have. That is ZooKeepers, the game that we're building next. Please, if you have any comments or questions, leave them below in this video. And we're going to be streaming live starting next Monday. So we'll do this live, hopefully with some progress, and with some just having some interesting conversations. This is what we do every week. We're just in here chatting, talking about what are we looking to do, what's the idea, what do we think about this, and or questions are like, hey, what was the thought behind this direction? So that is the intro of the game. There is another thing I want to show you actually, and it's not going to seem like much, but this is already a huge milestone for us. Okay, so after that quick load, yeah, so let's dig into it. So we just have a test map right now, and well, if I press play, we're gonna open up our very brand new game, and I'm gonna click host, and here we are. I know what you're thinking. Why are you showing me this? This looks like hot trash. Well, the interesting thing about this hot trash is I've created a live server already on the Epic Online Services platform, which is the foundation for all of our multiplayer games on Steam, on PlayStation, on Nintendo Switch, and Xbox. It starts here. So this is day one, and we've already got this working. So this was a huge win for us before even starting anything else in the game. That we've already got our multiplayer foundation off the ground. So that is huge. So that is everything I wanted to show you. Kind of want to hand it off to the team, um, and kind of let you guys hear like us work a little bit, and kind of some of the conversations that we're having, and kind of want you to be a part of that as you listen this time around, and next time you can be a part of it and ask questions as well. So I'm gonna leave it here at the Zookeepers, and yeah, guys, let's get chatting. I also have the Discord up so you guys could kind of see some of the things that we drop in the meeting room. Like, see, we're like kind of fixing some of our Zookeeper artwork for display. But Yeah, guys. So who did not know that we had EOS up and running?
I did not actually.
I also didn't.
Pretty cool.
You can thank Hook for that one. With
Do we have to thank Hook for that one?
I mean, it is using his plugin.
Well, thank you very much, Hook.
Yeah, thanks, Hook.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna.
Good job.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great. Feeling good. We got the roadmap started already. So technically, we're on phase 1.
Let's go.
Or we've started phase 1, so we're in the EOS environment. Now we're just handling some of the foundational stuff. And as soon as we get that done, we want to go into phase 0.
Okay.
So
We're
the
going backwards in phases.
Yeah, so we are going backwards a bit here. So phase 0 is basically the proof of concept, right? This is
Gotcha.
we're trying to make sure, like, everything, we've talked about this amongst the team. Everybody's gone through this roadmap, and everybody was excited and saying, "Hey, I can see the vision of this game." What phase 0 is our proof of concept. This is like, is this game actually fun? Without making the entire game, if we just put, the core elements together in a single map, one animal, maybe one or a couple of tools, and we're just kind of roaming around a space, interacting with the animal, maybe feeding the animal, maybe fixing a wall or something, getting into a cart that goes nowhere. Those are the things that are going to help us determine, like, okay, do we have something solid? I feel confident. I know you guys kind of feel confident, but this is the proven factor, right? Like, let's just make sure we know for sure, and we're going to hone in on that and say that's our gameplay. That's what we want to repeat over and over. Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back.
We were just going over proof of concept.
Oh yeah. Seeing if the game's actually fun and not
Yes.
just a disaster and exponentially hard, even though it should be exponentially hard. We don't want one person being able to really do a lot. To be
Right.
honest, we want them to. If they can do a lot, it's because they got skills.
That is
You
true.
don't want it to be too hard, but not also too easy.
Exactly.
Right. We could even make a simple task in here,
Difficulty? Or, yeah.
like have them perform
could make-
a task.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Are we gonna have? Oh, question. Are we gonna have difficulties?
There's a level of difficulty when it comes to the animals, because we know that our animals are going to become more difficult. That's what the tiers are for.
But I mean, like a setting. Like, are we gonna be able to like do it on low difficulty versus high difficulty?
Necessarily, we even consider that really.
I don't think. Well, no, we didn't plan for that. We did not plan for that. I fully expect that the nature of the tasks themselves is going to be the difficult part.
It'll be emergent. Okay, got you.
Yeah, it's
Like
got to be
it's as
emergent, yeah.
difficult as you make it. Yeah, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know that by player number, that's already going to be a factor.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, you can't really add difficulty for a co-op game like this.
Yeah, that's more like.
I mean, you can, but like, yeah, if there's like if there's like enemies that you're all fighting together, like whatever. I'm thinking
Absolutely.
like, yeah.
Yeah, and think about
Does
this.
that
Like,
make sense?
your zoo gets larger. There's more to maintain. We could also make it a thing where we could also add that, like, if too many players are around an animal, their stress level goes up faster.
Right.
Yeah.
Strategery.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that would make it easier on one person, but one person would have
We
to
could
do
set
everything.
like world settings. We could have like world settings be configurable. Like set how much gravity you want to like affect. Like because normally gravity is like -987 units, Unreal units. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
velocity, we could have it like if we want to make some settings configurable, we could do stuff like that, like physics settings. You know what I mean? Like animal density or like your weight, mass, like stats like that. Way if we have to have, if we have to look at it that way. That would be
Well,
a
I
way we
think-
could mitigate it for people who want to have different experiences.
I think the weight and mass and stuff is also going to take precedent with things like the wheelbarrow, where
Yeah.
like you can carry. It's not just you throw things in and it fills up constantly. It's kind of like, for instance, like the cart in Repo, where you are putting physical objects into it,
Mhm.
but it's also got that mechanic where, like, say the wheelbarrow tips over, all
Right.
that stuff is going to spill out.
Yeah.
Or you can carry your friends around.
We do. That is a mechanic that we plan on having. You can pick up your friends and throw them.
And into the
Get to
wheelbarrow.
use physics controls. That'd be fun.
And we need.
I'm excited to mess around with physics controls.
Oh yeah, definitely. I want to see ragdolling everywhere.
Yes, sir.
And possibly some Wilhelm screams.
Yeah, that's free domain. It's free domain.
That it is.
Is that the Stormtrooper scream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Wilhelm scream. I'm gonna start saying that.
I looked into the history of that. That actually came from the guy. His name was Wilhelm, and I think it was first.
Oh, really?
I think it was.
He wasn't the first one though. I also looked into it. There was a use case before like the initial Wilhelm scream. that,
before
like,
Star
everyone
Wars?
knows.
Yeah.
Oh, way
Whoa.
before Star
Yeah,
Wars,
wait, yeah.
dude. It was like in the 50s.
It was like a Western movie.
Really?
No?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very popular.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna look this up afterwards.
Nerding
That's good
out.
knowledge. That's
Nerding out
good
over
knowledge.
sound
Yeah.
effects.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. No, but that's good nerd knowledge. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's like the right nerd knowledge to have. Like you want to know that nerd knowledge if you're gonna be a nerd.
If you know the origin of the Wilhelm scream, be sure to comment it below.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Please. Maybe
Indeed.
we're wrong. But I
Yeah,
doubt
check
it.
us. Check us in the comments below. Feel free to check us
Probably not.
in the comments below.
Fact check
Probably
us.
Yeah. Show me the data.
Right.
Show me the data.
Oh man.
What you looking for?
Me? No, I'm just kind of hovering around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, this is all good stuff.
Good content.
This is good content, man. I love looking at this
know
board,
what?
by the way.
While I was listening earlier, you didn't have anyone else connect to you. I realized that. Yeah.
Oh, when I was showing it live, yeah, no.
It shows.
Just so
I
you
was
guys know, I know I was the only one in the map, but like Hook could have totally came in there and connected to the session. We've already tested this.
should have
Yes.
totally did that. Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
we should have showed that off.
Quote, unquote.
Sorry, guys. Next time. Promise.
Whatevs.
But no, that was a celebratory night when the connection actually happened. We even chest bumped in the game. We did. We did.
Actually, you have a recording of that?
No, I wish we did, man. I slacked.
Oh, we should
on
start
us.
recording everything. We should start recording everything.
Yeah.
Do anybody like what's the software like? Because I know like I've been like when I take screen recordings, I just do Command Shift R. But there's a better way to do that, right? You can like you can like clip your screen like whenever you want, right?
Hook
Hook
would
about
tell
anyone
you.
else, but I just press Alt to F10.
Hey, Richie.
Yeah.
So my kid actually just asked a decent question because I was showing him the art. Are we gonna have day and night cycles where we have different tasks like throughout the night type of thing?
So that was brought up by Dominique, and him and I went circles. We went from day to night to day. Dominique, you want to talk about that one a little bit?
Yeah.
Legend Dominique himself.
No, stop. So basically, what I was trying to sort of solve was the situation of like the global timer. instead of going for like the task timer that we did and sorted. And so I had the idea of like, okay, so we're like fixing and like sort of like taking in the scenery of our zoo in the daytime, and then all the tasks would be in the nighttime. But the issue Richie brought up with that is like, okay, we're not gonna have any like customers or people around. And then I googled up, okay, are there any night zoos? There are night zoos, but they like start
There are
like
nights.
4 p.m. and then they go into the night, not necessarily start at night and then like work around to the morning. Um, I don't know if it's off the table. Because like obviously there's certain things that could happen in the night that like could only happen at the night.
That go bump.
The only yeah, but the only thing is that where would the cutoff of the global timer be? So that's why it's like, okay, daytime everything happens. Once we get to the nighttime, global timer goes off, and then you can do whatever to like upgrade your zoo, fix some stuff or anything like that. So
That
yeah.
might actually be because I know you guys were talking about having a free time. That
Mhm.
might be a good idea to have the free time be at night. There's still maybe some
Yeah.
tasks that like you have to do at nighttime, but it's like, oh, don't worry too much. All the animals are asleep, and maybe there's like a few that aren't asleep. If there's like nocturnal ones, maybe, but for the most part, it's just
Yeah.
kind of like
Honestly,
mess around, do your tasks you got to do, and finalize your night, and then maybe it's like, all right, there's like an option to be like, okay, start the next day, and you kind of click that button, and it takes you to your next shift, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I have another idea. I have a couple of ideas actually. We can. It, it's not the counter, but it's just as you guys are talking, I'm just coming up with some interesting things in my head. What if every task can have a day and night option? So when you get the task, you can decide if it's something you want to perform at night. And there's different pay rates depending on what that task is or depending on the animal.
Yeah.
So
You get overtime.
Time and a half.
Pretty
yeah.
much,
So
yeah.
so because here's the thing. The thing is like Dominique said, it would kind of be interesting. It might be a little bit difficult to make it a night zoo because most of your animals are going to be um not nocturnal. I don't know what I don't know what the word for not nocturnal is right now. And I'm sorry.
Eternal.
Eternal.
Turtle. Turnal.
Eternal.
So you know,
Comfy.
basically
Eternal.
your zoo's asleep. You know, and realistically, most people aren't in the park. There's no visitors, and the thing that kind of drives this chaos is you need witnesses. You need things. It's not that just the animal goes wrong and breaks the zoo. That is part of the chaos. But the fact that people could get hurt, eaten, or they witness it and then they report it, you're losing some of that. But then you have to come up with an excuse, like like you guys were saying, it could be a day and night zoo. Um, so that might be able to fix it. Or Dominique, you came up with this idea earlier. Is what if there was a section of the zoo that's enclosed to create an artificial nighttime?
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yeah, like a
so
night bio. There could be biomes.
yes,
Right, like
so you get a
Yeah, they
nighttime
have
Like
biome.
like
a
domes
reptile
over.
type of deal.
Yeah.
And I think that would also help make the zoo a little bit more interesting because you're going into a new space. So we have a couple of ideas to juggle. If we're trying to bring nighttime in, we just got to think of how it affects the other systems.
Yeah.
So not completely off the table, Obby.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
No.
basically it's come up with a good design, right? And
Yeah. It has to match. So the biggest thing is like we have to get the daytime thing down, and then we have to have something
Yeah.
that can match with the nighttime thing.
it's almost like the nighttime is a new game mode, even though it's not.
Yeah.
It's just
Honestly.
got it's just it, well, it is because it's gonna have different rules, kind of.
Yeah.
So That is going to be the hard solve. But when we have that down, I think like you said, once our daytime feels real good, it'll be easier to figure out our nighttime. So
I do have a couple of tasks that could possibly maybe only happen at night that might affect the daytime that I wrote down in the mirror board. I'm not gonna bring it up right now, but
Like a
there are
giant
some
owl is
ideas.
picking up other creatures, stopping.
No. It's not that. It's more so in the lines of animals that aren't part of the zoo invading, or
Yeah.
rival zoos
Oh,
coming in to
a
take
raccoon.
pictures and stuff, and you trying to stop them from sending those pictures to the people
Are we
that
gonna have blood in the
work
game?
for
Sorry,
the
I didn't mean
zoo.
to cut you off.
No, you're
Yes,
good.
yes. To
uh
answer that,
Let's say
so-
if we
Colored.
do, it's gonna be very cartoony.
Yeah,
and with also the option to turn it off. That's why I said yes and no.
And
yeah.
is
Yeah.
are we having the are we having like lethal types of interactions? Like, can you stab a friend with a pitchfork or something like that? Like, is it like that kind of thing?
no.
Well,
No, no, it would just whack them, like whack attack them.
It's got to be
Right,
it's
Yeah.
got to be
whack attack.
comedic. Yeah.
It's
Cuz
gotta be
Yeah, yeah.
cartoony.
tranquilizer darts.
because
Yeah.
then you start hitting a different rating, and we don't
Yeah.
want to like even
No,
the
I'm
thing.
not
Yeah.
advocating. I'm not advocating
Yeah.
either way. I was just curious.
Yeah. No, I want
I
to
just
keep.
wanted to know which way we were going with
We
it.
want to keep the young kids. So what I here's what I fully expect.
I agree. I actually agree. To be honest,
Yeah,
I think that's a
I
better
feel like
idea.
we're the age group that's going to enjoy this game the most is definitely going to be the like youth
Middle schoolers,
to
yeah.
middle school to like young adults, but
Yeah.
it's animals, right? So naturally you're going to get the younger children wanting to play this game.
Yeah.
So we
Makes
need to
sense.
keep the cartoon because we want we want the violence, right? We don't
Yeah.
take the violence
Yeah.
out, but
I
we
mean,
need
all the characters are gonna have googly eyes. Like,
yeah.
we can't have like
Yeah.
realistic blood effects and googly
Stabbing
eyes.
Yeah, no.
stabbing them in those googly eyes. That can't happen.
Yeah. Well, we and other
That would be fantastic for a horror game, though.
and definitely
Yeah.
other interesting interactions too because there's games like Peak, like when you eat the wrong mushroom, how your guy like passes out and stuff, and or like
Mm.
they go into weird states, or getting hit with the tranquilizer, you shut off the I thought that was hilarious. You shut off the proximity voice on that person, you mute them.
Oh yeah.
Right.
'Cause they're
They're done.
passed
Oh,
You're muted. That's hilarious. I like that a lot.
Richie,
Mhm.
something
And
I was
and
talking.
everyone's just like wondering what they're saying. Everyone's just like playing with their avatar, wondering what they're fucking saying.
Yes.
Richie, something I was talking to Nick about before you got on. Because like the concept art had like walkie talkies on the characters.
Mhm.
And I think if we get proximity chat down, we could also have a walkie talkie system where if you're on the other side of the park, you talk into the walkie talkie, everyone can hear it.
To connect in the session. Now you want proximity chat too? Like this is crazy.
Proximity chat was a point when we were first discussing this, man.
Jeez, man. Oh, now more
new
research.
we need a
Thanks.
new hook plugin for proximity chat.
Well, it's not a plugin for EOS. I had wrote it. Obviously, it's not. I'm not gonna
I
make it a plugin if
know,
it's not
just
completely done. But
don't ruin my joke.
the debug stuff is definitely the plugin. Oh jeez.
I want to
No,
make a
yeah.
plugin. I want to
But
make a
yeah.
plugin.
No, stop it.
This is your thing. This is your thing.
Nah,
Everyone
nah,
take
nah.
Hook's thing now.
No, stop it, guys. No. But yeah, no. I mean that's definitely doable, man. Honestly speaking.
If we get one, we can get the other one probably
Yeah,
real easy.
What are the
yeah.
two
As long
elements
as
you guys are talking
prox
about?
chat,
Sorry, I
proc
missed
chat.
something.
Having
Yeah.
proximity
What's
chat,
the other
but
one?
also having like a walkie-talkie system, where
Yeah.
like if you're
Oh.
not within proximity chat range, you can hit a button
That feels.
and
Those
talk
two
to
things
everyone.
feel like
Yeah.
feel like they're in direct
Yeah, they are.
like design
Yeah, they are.
opposition to one another.
Well,
No,
here
You know what I mean?
no.
here's what I
I
would
mean, they
say.
are and they aren't.
Well, because it's like you have the proximity chat where when you're nearby people, you don't need anything to talk to them. But then when you're not nearby somebody, say you're across the park, you have your little
Yeah.
walkie-talkie.
slap a
But is it
filter on
like
that.
is it like a physical object in the game that you that you
I
have to
would
pick
make
up
it
or
a
something?
tool. I would make it a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something
maybe,
to make
maybe
sure
in
you
that
grab at the beginning of the round.
maybe you have to be holding it or something, but like it shouldn't because it shouldn't just be like a different like menu button that you
Mhm.
flick to like sort of
No,
like
no,
you know
no,
that's the one
definitely.
thing I want to like
Yeah.
I think we should avoid is like to have it just be like another you want proc do you want
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
prox chat mode or global chat but you know what I mean like then it sort of tears you out of the
No,
immersion.
no, no.
The immersion.
Yeah,
It's
I
almost
see. I
like
see what you mean by if they're in direct conflict. No, no, no. If like what you're
Direct
describing would be
conflict.
direct conflict, but like the physical object that they have to pick up and
Yeah,
hold around.
I'm down. I
together,
I see what you're saying with
yeah.
that. Because like, well, the
Yeah.
thing about prox chat that's so cool is that like it really pushes the immersion of the game like to the next
Yes.
Yeah.
level where
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm actually just talking to the people around me. So then if suddenly you can flick a switch and be talking to people who aren't around you, it's like, oh, well, what is prox chat then? Am I actually near these people?
Well,
or,
I mean, they
or
have to
not? But
be
if you have to
within
hold a tool,
Yeah.
that would be cool because then it's like, oh, now I have this tool. Now I'm broadcasting my prox chat to like
Plus,
a
they also
global
have to be
network,
within
like,
vicinity of that radio
of the
anyway.
walkie-talkie. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're
It-
saying. That I like that
Yeah.
idea. I like that idea. I just so you guys know, I'm very rarely like for or against anything. I just usually want to like talk about it.
No, it's great to
Yeah, no,
clarify. Yeah.
devil's advocate. Yeah.
a
What's
good
good, Rick?
example for the walkie-talkie would be like the walkie-talkie they have in Lethal Company, where they have to
Mhm.
buy a walkie-talkie and to make sure it's
Yeah,
charged. And when you're
that's cool.
using the walkie-talkie, you can't really use anything else because it's in
Yeah.
your hand and it's taking up your hand
Yeah.
slot, sort of thing. I think that'd
Yeah,
be fun.
that's cool. I think
Yeah.
that'd be fun too.
A lion sneaks up on you.
We
kills you.
should. You know what? Thinking about that, we could potentially define one-handed and two-handed items. Maybe you could hold a walkie-talkie in one hand if the other item is
Yeah,
smaller.
right trigger, left trigger.
Yeah.
Like walkie and a flashlight or something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that tracks. That tracks. Oh, thank you, by the way, Reggie. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking, like of me speaking, because I was gonna say speaking of, but we weren't really talking about art exactly. It's just people pointing me out. I did have questions to ask about the art. Mainly with the 3D, because I know Richie said like low poly, but I was curious on like if we wanted to do like a smooth low poly look, or if we were doing maybe like a
Okay.
polygonal low poly look, and then like with that like the style of the clothing and stuff like that. I have a feeling that we're probably gonna end up doing like a smooth with like a 3D modeled on clothing instead of it being like the little model and it's just kind of textured on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I would agree. At least for that, I mean, there's gonna be like accessories like the
Everyone wants
knapsack and walkie and things
Yeah.
like that.
Everyone wants some drip.
yeah.
Yeah, people will want to. Do you think we're gonna support dressing up like your Zuki customizing the clothes of the zookeeper?
Yeah.
100%.
Maybe like hats.
Dude, if we
I mean,
get
if we're baking
fucking New
clothes
York hat,
on,
everyone in the state is going to be playing the game.
The only reason I play video games is for the drip.
Exactly.
That's why I have so many hours in Monster Hunter. I need that drip.
That's true. That's why I play Monster Hunter 2. I love that fucking shit.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the end game of any game is fashion.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, it's true. It's true. That's such a fact, actually.
We gotta have it.
Why
we gotta.
is that? I mean,
we
like,
actually
that-
have. We
no,
have to
but
go
the thing
harder.
is, like, I don't care about fashion in my everyday life. You know what I mean? Like, I just wear like shorts and a t-shirt, or
Yeah,
jeans and a
tracks.
t-shirt, depending on where I am. Yeah. What'd you say? No, but,
That tracks.
but,
I said that tracks.
no,
like,
I know. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh.
Like no, like you calling me a pleb? No, but
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
yeah,
saying
no,
he's
I
got
know,
no drip dog.
No, he knows, but he knows me. He knows I don't, so it's fair. But anyway, what was I gonna say? But like in games, I need to, you know what I mean? Like I need to be drippy. You know what I mean? Like I gotta have my drip. Like it's so weird how it doesn't. It's so weird that it doesn't like translate to life. You know what I mean? It just like, when you play the game, in order to feel like it makes you feel so like. I don't know. It makes you feel like you're good. I guess good at the game.
Like a
I don't know.
Yeah, somebody
pro.
tries to call you a new and be like, "Bro, have you seen my shoes?"
You're like, bro, look at my name, like my outfit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think
You're
I,
just jealous. You don't got this hat, bro. Like
You don't
got my
have the
drip,
red. You don't
sorry.
have the red hat. You don't have the red hat. Okay, that's
Yeah.
what your problem is.
Check, yo.
so yeah. I mean, that's gonna be very important for this game. It sounds silly, but
Mhm.
like, I mean, we couldn't go harder than we did at Sorted. We absolutely wanted to change more, but we also had the camera perspective. But this camera perspective here is going to fully support that, and we got to have it. We just got to have it. So we need to make sure that our player models are interchangeable when it comes to clothing.
Then
I
we
got
should
you.
do very basic base skeleton, maybe even mannequin skeleton type shit, and like maybe not mannequin skeleton because you want to have weird proportions, right?
What would be the difference?
It would
between,
probably be almost kind of like a, if you've seen like those little paper doll things where it's like you're a little guy and then you can like drag stuff over. It almost would be like that, like 3D modeling wise. You'd have like the base model and then
Yeah, and you just drag stuff on
put
top of
the
it.
different clothes on them, sort of thing.
Okay.
Well, all right,
Yeah.
folks, we're going to cut it off here. We thank you so much for listening and hope to see you in the next one.
Like
Take care.
and subscribe.
Like
I
and
certainly
subscribe.
do.